when I got out of school, I got into design. It was early in the design years. I mean, computers weren't even really being used yet. This was like in the mid 70s, late 70s. But I found to support myself, because my family was always the worst with money and there was never any money. So I was like, that's not going to happen to me. But I got jobs doing graphic design, and these kept elevating into, and it's somehow I was just found myself in retail. I got a job at Gap I started out there just as being an artist, and then I ended up having a very big job there where I consolidated all the departments of Gap, the men's, women's, boys, girls, and baby, and created a graphics division for the company. And it was a huge division. And I did one of these things, how innocent I was. I was pretty young and didn't realize just how ballsy this job was for me to have it, and the amount of politics I was walking into head on. And it was pretty rough. I mean, to be an artist, you had to be an artist to get the job, but to survive it, you had to be made of steel in terms of what goes on at companies that big. But and that was a great job. Then I helped to start Old Navy with Mickey Drexler. We worked on naming the store and coming up with the concepts of Old Navy, which is still successful today. And then so I was creative director for both of those chains for a while. And but then my career has also been back to my studio, where I've had my own clients and I've done my own artwork. And one of my favorite clients was the New York Marathon, which I did for about 4 years because I'm a big runner. And so I did, the medals and all of the graphic products and all the t-shirts and the Mylar blankets and everything about the marathon. I did all the design for that, which was fabulous. And then my last big job in that way was with Hanes Brands, makers of your underwear and socks. But the CEO of Hanes was like, well, we've never done anything with a pattern or with an image. And so he really wanted to build an image division for this company, which is 100 years old, and they know how to make things, but they know how to make a sock and an underwear. Anyway, I came in, and it was a really interesting challenge because I built this department. Within the first week I was there, I had to make a huge presentation to Walmart. Then they flew me down to Disney to do something there. And anyway, I built a great division. And in fact, I named it Image Lab by Hanes Brands, which was really good because as much as Hanes is a well-known brand, it wasn't known for being cutting edge. It wasn't known for being artsy, certainly nothing about couture. Um, but what was good about it was in branding our group, because I said, I don't want to just become the next graphics department, because at Gap and at Old Navy, we were the biggest division. And yet we were like the pork chop at the bar mitzvah. We were like, we weren't considered serious. So anyway, when I went to Hanes and I made this new brand for them, not only did it elevate our whole group, but it also elevated this mission that the CEO wanted to carry on with, in terms of impressing other corporations like Target, Walmart, that we were more than just your granddad's underwear. And we are now, we were leading in trending. And we started doing all these great t-shirt collections, which I love doing because t-shirts are kind of like canvases. I didn't really care about the shirt. We just made tons of artwork to go on all these shirts. Anything, really cutting, teenage kids stuff to beautiful stuff for women's. So, and I had a great group of artists, and I really learned a lot being an art director there. I also learned it was a strength to not know everything, because at these levels, with the amount of travel and being a creative director at these levels, you really are not sitting at your computer or your easel drawing all day. You really are not. I mean, you're not doing your job if that's what you're doing, but you have to have that in you. So, but I really so I was able to hire really great people and really really make a lot of great stuff. And I made great money, which was great because, I was sick of having these jobs. I've watched some of my fellow artists who have stayed the path of art, and that's what I am doing now. But now I can do it with, I can afford my life, and I don't have to worry about selling art. If I sell anything, it's like icing on the cake, which is really great.